high five before or after we do the?
We'll just say hello
video.
briefly, and then you can bring it up.
Yeah.
And I'll just say something about what's going on behind us, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Is that the coach over there?
Yeah.
Celebrate the Sounders.
A special day for Sounders fans, getting the chance to share their pride for the 2019 MLS Cup champions. Here's a live look from Sky King over Westlake Park in downtown Seattle. Right now, a big crowd gathered, getting ready to congratulate the team after Sunday's win against Toronto. The rain has not kept them away. Here's another view of the parade route from the ground. This will be the second championship parade in Seattle in the past 2 years after 2018's Storm victory celebration. It's the first for the Sounders since their first MLS Cup win back in 2016. Good afternoon. I'm Paul Sylvie. Thanks for joining us. It is a great day to be a Seattle sports fan. Fresh off a huge win for the Seahawks, but today it's all about our newly crowned champions, the Seattle Sounders.
And I'm Joyce Taylor, and for the next couple of hours, we're going to be bringing you live team coverage of the Sounders Victory Parade through downtown Seattle. We are joined by Chris Egan, special guest, former Sounders coach, Alan Hinton, who we all know and loved, helping us soak up the moment. So thanks for being with us today.
Let's get out there and join the parade right now. Michael King and Jim Dever from Evening are at the starting points at Westlake Park, guys.
We're having a great time out here, aren't we?
Absolutely. Look who we found.
Hey, I'm here.
Coach.
I'm here.
Can I have your autograph?
Well, yeah, but my pen's running out of ink. There's a lot of people that are here.
So many scarves this morning. It's amazing. How many scarves do you think you've signed?
Well, a lot, but I love it because I know later in life I won't be signing autographs for anyone, so I got to do it now.
You know
might
what?
be.
You can come over to my place and sign an autograph any day.
Okay, I'm there.
100 years from now.
Why do you think you guys are the champs?
Because those boys over there don't quit. They never stop believing in what they're doing. That's a super fantastic, talented group of guys.
Sure is.
They deserved it.
And brilliant coaching.
Well, I have a lot of good assistants.
All right, Brian, enjoy the party.
Thanks. I'm enjoying it very much.
Thank you for all the joy you've brought to our city.
Yeah. Well, you listen to the crowd behind us. They're enjoying themselves too today.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
Congratulations again.
And we just had a kind of a fun thing happen earlier today at the Chiefs Health statue.
Oh, yeah.
Right there in Telecom Place. Nicholas Ladero, the team captain, he actually put a scarf, a Sounders scarf, onto Chiefs Health.
Yeah, this has become quite a tradition, actually. Started in 2016 with the first MLS Cup, which was, of course, against Toronto. And now, let's take a look at that beautiful cup.
There it is. It's
Oh,
very
my
artistic.
goodness. Yeah, you know
It's
what?
kind of fancy.
That would look great in your living
Like a bunch of lemonade in there.
No, let's
and
not
serve
even
it
think
at
about it. No,
punch at a party.
No, it is to be revered and celebrated.
May I touch
Cup.
it?
There it is. Oh, they're letting Michael touch it.
Can I kiss it?
The value just.
Oh, it's okay. This is a 2016.
Okay,
Can I kiss it?
You just dropped the value, Michael. No, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
That's what you do with a cup.
I'm going to touch it too, though. Why not?
Now you need a star, 2 stars.
A star.
So this so see this jersey?
Okay, yeah. So this is
the
traditional
2016 version, right?
Right,
So you
you
put
got
1
the
star per championship. So I brought some stars along.
Okay. While he's putting on his star and my star, we're going to toss it over to Chris Daniels. Chris.
Yeah, guys, that's one of the 2 cups that you're going to see here at Westlake Center. And you got all the dignitaries, too, with the fans. There's Sounders majority owner Adrian Hanauer, Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan trying to take a picture as they share a hug here on what is going to be a really 2-hour celebration of the Sounders and the city of Seattle. You can see all the people lined up around here. There's the 2 buses. You just saw what Michael and Jim were showing you. We're waiting on all the players to actually get on those buses to start this parade after we see a speech here from the mayor, we are presuming, and from Sounders leadership. You can see Garth Lagerway, the general manager of the Sounders. He's here, ready to go, and a big crowd developing over Stephen Fry. He is the goalie now of 2 MLS Cup teams. You can see he's got the prize possession right there. The 2019 MLS Cup that, of course, was won here in Seattle in front of 69,000 fans on Sunday. And we are going to see the fans here lining the streets. We are going to go down 4th Avenue with this parade eventually. Look at that. He's holding 2 cups. 2 cups are better than 1. As we get ready for this parade, this celebration, we understand that there's going to be 1 cup on each bus as it travels through to Seattle Center and that rally. We're going to have some celebration here before those buses take off. I know at another end of the fans, my colleague Jake Wittenberg and Mimi Jung are standing by. Jake, Mimi.
It's here, Jake, who skipped school, but we want to show you one of the youngest Sounders fans I think we've seen so far. Come this way.
Everyone eagerly awaiting. How about bye?
Yeah, hey guys, I just want to show you this cute little gal, the youngest Sounders fan I've seen so far in the crowd. Tell me your name and why you are so excited to be here.
This is Baby Olive, and we were at the game yesterday rooting them on. Yay! So she's their lucky charm.
She's their lucky charm.
Yes.
So first Sounders game, and she watched a championship win.
Yes, yes. We had a great time. So much fun. Hooray!
Have fun today.
Thank you.
Jake?
Mimi, come on down here, Mike. We got people are off of school. They're calling off of work. How did you guys get out of school and work to be here today?
It's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Seattle holiday.
Yeah, what's it mean to be here today?
Well, for my son, we went to the game, not this game, but the games before, so he's just so excited about it. We have to be here, you know. We're Seattleites.
Absolutely. This is a great day in Seattle.
Yep.
Yep, I feel you.
Who are you looking forward to seeing the most today?
I don't know, all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Have you ever been part of a victory parade like this before?
Yeah, in 2016. And the Seahawks.
And the Seahawks. Okay, so this is number 3. Pretty
Did
awesome.
you have to call out of work today to be here?
I work at Starfire, so no.
Okay. Oh, that helps.
Yeah,
that helps.
that's good.
Yeah. So many smiling faces out here. It's great to see. And even the police officers are into it, which is a fun thing, too.
They're taking pictures, and we're excited to get this parade started in just a few minutes. Back to you guys for now.
Yeah, when you work at Starfire, the Sounders headquarters there, it's pretty easy
Got a
to
lot
get
to
day off
celebrate.
today, huh? You know, you saw Adrian Hanauer there, and he deserves a lot of credit, but let's start right on the field, Chris, with Brian Schmetzer and the job he's done here.
Well, no better way to start off the championship parade coverage than an interview with the head coach himself.
Yeah.
Brian Schmetzer went to Nathan Hale High School, 57 years old. How about this record for a coach? 4 years as the head coach of the Sounders. He's been to the MLS Cup 3 times, has 2 titles, absolutely amazing. Started playing with the Lake City Hawks, started playing with the Sounders back in 1980, and that man right over there to the left of me, Alan Hint, knows a little bit about that, Alan, because you were the one back in 1980 that said, I'm going to put this Brian Schmetzer on my roster, I'm going to get him going, and since then it's been history. Sure, he played with Tulsa, San Diego, but he's been a part of the fabric of soccer in the Northwest since those 80s and before that.
It's quite a remarkable story, the Brian Schmetzer story. When I first got here 40 years ago in November 79, Bobby Howe, my assistant coach, took me to see Lake City Hawks, coached by his late father, Walter Schmetzer. good coach, good old German coach. And Brian cut inside from the left. He was a left-footed player, and he smacked the ball in the upper V with his right foot, and I said to Bobby, there's our boy. So we got him, and I've had him at 3 clubs in his 40-year career. I've had him at the Sounders for 3 years, 80, 81, 82. I had him at the Tacoma Stars, where he was a big part of that. And then I had him at the Sounders that began again in 94, 95. But then Brian got involved in coaching. It wasn't easy. There wasn't a lot of money for him. He and Dick McCormick were building houses and doing whatever they could to make ends meet. But now Brian's the star of the show. He's a marvelous man. I mean, we could talk forever about him and the way he motivates players, the way he gives credit to his team. But he's an icon now. He's up there with Lenny Wilkins and Chuck Knox, Don James, and he deserves it. And he's still modest, but he always was, to be fair.
And speaking of another Brian, that was backup goalkeeper Brian Meredith taking the cup and bringing it to the crowd and showing them that cup. And how cool is that? 2 cups. Of course, they had the cup from 2016 there. And then they lost that game in 2017. We were in the locker room in Toronto, and speaking of Brian Schmetzer, he said, we have to find a way. We've got to find a way to play this MLS Cup in Seattle, and that's the regular season. You've got to finish high enough. They were the 2 seed. Didn't look good that they were going to play at home, but they get the big win against LAFC, and then they get a little luck with Toronto on the other side, and here you go. They host.
And that crowd, 69, almost 70,000 people, more than have ever packed into the Clink.
Yeah, 69,274, biggest crowd for a sporting event ever at Century Link.
Well, I love the fact that they're bringing that cup around to the fans because no one deserves it more than those fans that go out there in all kinds of weather and they get up here and now they get a chance to put their hands on the cup down there, get this parade started, and really get a feel for a piece of the action. So it's very cool. The hardware is gorgeous, though, isn't it, Alan?
It really is, and it's going to find a good home here in Seattle, and I think it's expectations that I knew would happen one time, and it's happened, but the Sounders and the Seahawks are marvelous stories in this community. Both coaches, they should be brothers in many ways because they're so positive. And if you're positive in today's world, which can be a bit ugly and negative, it's a wonderful thing for the player to say, good job, you know. Instead of in my day, get the job done, otherwise I'm going to trade you. You know what I mean? But it's a marvelous story. I was on the field after the game. It was pandemonium. It was crazy. Joel Roth was there, gave me a big hug. Adrian gave me the biggest hug he's ever given to me, and everybody was friends. The locker room was nuts, and I was happy to be a part of it. But for me, at my age, to see this happen is basically the reason I came to America in Seattle, was to see how far we could take it. And Brian now and Adrian has taken it way further than I could have done.
And let's be honest, Alan, I mean, this may never happen again. I mean, it may never happen again. The Seattle Storm won a championship on home soil. We were there for that, Paul. But since then, no other Seattle sports team has won a championship on their home soil.
Yeah,
it does not happen a lot in the world of sports. This is something that we just don't see. And I'm going to throw out the word. It hasn't been used yet. And Paul may say, come on, Egan, you're getting too crazy here. But I'm going to throw out the word dynasty.
I knew it.
I'm going to throw out the word dynasty. I mean, they have been to the playoffs 11 straight seasons. Give credit to the late Ziggy Schmidt for taking this team and getting him there. And then Brian Schmetzer, 2 titles in 4 years. I mean, that's not a dynasty. I don't know what it is.
It's not a dynasty, Chris, but it's an awfully good
It's close, Paul. Let me believe it's close.
He wants one more MLS Cup to make a
Getting
dynasty.
to the Cup 3 of the last 4 years is strong. Yes, for sure.
What makes a dynasty?
Winning those cups, winning them, and they've got 2 now. So let's count them up. You know, you got to take home the title, Joyce. You can't just get there and celebrate with a juice box and move on. All right? So you don't get participatory trophies.
If we stand still with this squad, we'll go backwards.
Well, we're not going to stand still.
We've got to go forward. And Adrian's ambitious. He's a young man. He's a decent soccer player himself. They will go and get some good play. I know.
Hey, Al, Russell Wilson and Sierra, new owners of the team, they are there. Russell Wilson, fresh off that win. He was hanging out with Paul Sylvia last night in Santa Clara, and now he's down there on parade route, ready to go.
I'll tell you what, they're all in, aren't they? Russell's wonderful. I love Russell. He and his wife.
See, there they are. There's Sierra.
I love it. He's got even his signature cap has the colors on there. It's the number 3. Very cool. Yeah, I think that's, by the way, as just a side note, I think he's got one of the coolest logos in pro sports, the way they developed that. So
what do you
very
think
cool.
about them being part of the new ownership group, keeping it local, with the 11 families that have joined?
I think it's great. I think it pumps new blood into it. It's like anything else. You have to add new characters to keep everything fresh and keep the fresh ideas coming in. I think Russell brings that, and I think McLemore brings that. Chris had a chance to chat with him after they won the cup the other day too. So let's go down to Chris now and take it away, Chris.
There we got it. Look at you got it, man. Thank you. Those guys.
Chris Daniels hanging out
Chris,
with
can you hear us?
head coach Brian Spencer, Russell, and Sierra. Chris Daniels, if you can chat with Russell and Sierra.
Chris, good to see you again. Hey, what do you think? What do you think of this turnout?
Awesome. Obviously, it's a huge win, huge victory for the city of Seattle. We're fired up, Sierra and I, so pretty exciting.
Sierra, what do you think?
It's surreal. It's really awesome. The guys fought really hard. They believed. And honestly, I felt really inspired in the process. It was really cool to see them have their will. I mean, they fought hard. And it's a very special moment.
Go Sounders, baby. Go Sounders.
Go Sounders.
Let's celebrate.
Woo!
There you go. Russell Wilson and Sierra jumping on the bus. Here as we get ready to go.
Almost ran him over getting on that bus. Get out of the way, Daniels. Let's get this thing started.
Well, and I think Joyce Paul said it best when we were talking about Russell and Sierra. What do they bring to management? But of course, they bring money.
Innovation, creative ideas, energy,
Talk about that. You know this in the social media world.
I was trying to figure out, I know that Hanauer and the team, they wanted to keep the ownership local if they could, even though there was some outside interest, right, when Ross shares went up for grabs. But having 11 families, all of them being local, McLemore, Microsoft families, it's going to bring some innovation, some fresh ideas, and potentially revenue.
Well, don't forget what
Right? New revenue.
That's exactly right. Season tickets are going to go through the roof now, because I'm sure there was a lot of new fans who jumped on the bandwagon to see the final game, which people like to see, be seen around people. Season tickets will go through the roof for next year. Russell Wilson said, quote, "I hope I can help bring some world-class players here." Well, Russell, Messi might be available in about a year, Ronaldo another year, so I hope you're right. And I know Adrian and the coaching staff and Garth Lagerwey will try to upgrade 2 or 3 spots, not a wholesale change, just 2 or 3 players coming in just to make sure we're ahead of the curve.
Yeah. And you mentioned world-class players, Alan, but I think if you go back 4 years ago, a lot of people in Seattle did not know the name Raul Ruidiaz.
Right.
Chris Henderson, VP of Soccer, went to Cascade High School from Edmonds, Washington. This is a name you can't say enough. Chris Henderson, he's Adrian Hanauer's right-hand man. He was the one out scouting and finding this Raul Ruidiaz. He was a big key to bringing this player here, making him a designated player. And this season, Ruidiaz, he earned the title, wow. DP, because he stepped up big time, and that third goal was simply magical. When he scored that, that's when the UW seismic crew went to work, because CenturyLink was just, it was so loud. But talk about a little bit, Alan, Ruidiaz and what he's meant to this team.
Well, first of all, on the negative side, to some, he runs less than any other player in the history of the Sounders. He doesn't run around that much, but when he gets the smell of a goal, he's like a rat up a drain pipe. He's gone. His third goal, the third goal for the Sounders against Toronto, was a very clever goal. He actually curled it around the goalkeeper. If you see it from behind the goal, it's such a beautiful curl up in the air, right in the back of the net. He's a big-time money player. They all are South Americans. I'll guarantee you the Sounders will be looking to bring another South American in next year, because they're money players. They're bred to win. Well, can you imagine Ruidiaz? I think he might already be back in Peru. But he's going to celebrate. He's got a McLaren.
well then.
He dyed his hair blonde. He's got strong legs. I pushed his leg one time. I said, "Just checking you out," and it was like a brick wall.
You know, it was a few years back though that they went out and scouted Nico Ladero. He is really the straw that stirs the drink on this Sounders team. So I mean, and you got to give Adrian Hanauer credit. He sends Henderson out there. He sends those guys out because he won't settle for mediocre, and that's exactly what they did. They're bringing this talent year after year. They're looking to pump. They might add Luis Suarez. You never know. He's Nico's best friend from the Uruguay national team. team. So
Sometimes the best tips you get on talent is from your own players.
Yes, exactly.
Because they want to play with them. I did it when I came to play. I bring a couple of my mates, but you have to have the golden rule is don't bring somebody for friendship. Bring them because they can help you win. Because the winning emphasis in Seattle now is bigger than ever. I remember when we were just happy to have teams here.
Well, everybody's happy to have this soccer team in town, that's for sure. Let's head back out and hear from Jake and Mimi.
Yeah, I could just sit here and listen to Alan talk about soccer all day long, actually. No, so the music is getting ramped up. People are starting to cheer, getting ready for the parade to start. And the fans are out in full force.
To an MLS victory parade, and this is awesome. Sounders fans are incredible. You guys actually came all the way from Tacoma, right?
We did, yeah. We drove all the way up here to watch them.
You guys are season ticket holders. What does it mean, because you're a huge soccer fan and a soccer player, for you to be here to see this?
I don't know. It's just really cool experience.
So, of course, you had to have him skip school to come see this, right?
Right. He's got a little bit of a cold.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No matter. You can break
I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better.
No problem. Yeah. What do you guys like about the Sounders? What brings you down here today?
Oh, we just love football. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a beautiful game. Soccer, they call it, but football around the world, it's really beautiful.
So true. So you didn't have to call in sick to work today or anything?
Yeah.
Day off. You had the day off, but you had to call in sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on my lunch break, but soccer in Seattle's like coffee. This is Soccer City, America. This is where MLS Cup belongs. I love it. A supporters club. It's a great atmosphere. Go Sounders.
I love it. Is Seattle a soccer city now or what?
We can't forget about the fact that the Seahawks won an epic game last night. So this woman has her 12 hat on and her Sounders gear on, right? This is a big day for Seattle sports.
Yes, it is. Big day. That's why we're here.
Have you ever been a part of this championship victory or parade before?
I was here when they won the last time, yes. This is very exciting.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, round number 2 then.
Love it. All right, we'll send it back to you guys for now. We're just getting ready for the parade to start, and fans are just getting pumped up. So cool.
So I'm looking at this crowd, and I'm saying to Paul and everybody, who would have thought this was going to be such a huge soccer town? And Paul said, yeah, like 20 years ago, we were playing more soccer than anyone in the country.
Yeah, you're right. And it's great to have a fan like Joyce on the set because, you know, Chris and I and Alan and we could sit here and talk soccer all afternoon, but Joyce is a true fan, man. She is fired up after last night's Seahawks win and today's parade for the Sounders. So it's great to have that extra energy out here for sure. But when you talk about
your stat on the kids playing soccer.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that youth soccer, there are more kids playing youth soccer in this state, and especially in Western Washington, per capita, than anywhere in the country. So youth soccer has become huge. So it's not so much a surprise that the team is doing so well, because who do you think is going to these games? These kids are dragging their parents to these games, and everybody's buying in. But Alan, you know, that groundswell started back when you were coaching.
Well, I began Crossfire with a guy named Bill Hermey. Then Bernie James took over, and Crossfire is going through the roof in terms of players playing. The number of players that are being produced around here are as a direct credit to a lot of the former players. Peter Hattrup does a good job, Jimmy McAllister, Jason Farrell, David Hogan, Bernie James, Wade Weber. I could go on and on and on. Billy Crook, Dick McCormick. All players who played for me are now coaching and giving back. You know what? You know what the big deal is? It's not difficult to teach a kid how to play soccer. The difficult part and the most impressive part for me is these coaches, former Sounders, and all the coaches keep the kids safe. In a happy environment, they teach them how to play soccer, obviously, but they teach them about life and responsibility and being on time and everything. So this is a credit not just to Brian, who's the top, but to all of the players. And Brian loves them all, because he knows them all. I took 20 players. I took 20 former Sounders to practice on Friday, and they loved it. And we all gave Brian a round of applause. This is before we won. And by the way, Brian wouldn't touch the trophy till he won it.
Oh, interesting.
Hold on for a second. We want to get out to Michelle and Steve. I think that you guys are the end of the route where the big parade's going to end up.
Hi! It's really hard to hear. They just started playing the video on a loop, and so we're starting to see the excitement
as more fans keep coming. This is like the end. This is the finish line.
Yeah, I would say there have been about 100 fans here for about an hour or so, but they're starting to fill the pavilion here a little bit more often, and obviously a historic place for the Sounders. Their first couple of seasons, they played at Memorial Stadium, which is just over our shoulders, so it's a very special place for the franchise to come back and celebrate now their second MLS Cup.
Now this is so cool. If I just want to give you an idea of what we're going to expect here, the players are supposed to come through this tunnel around 1:15 or 1:30. They're going to hike halfway up to the main stage to greet fans. Then they'll be at the main stage. We're probably going to be here for 45 minutes or an hour with a program, and then they're going to hoist the cup up in the middle so that fans can hang out with everybody.
And we've seen a wide variety of ages of fans. There are a lot of little kids here with their parents and their friends. I know some schools allow their students to miss at least part of the day to be a part of the parade or the celebration here. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of green, and a lot of blue.
Ooh, can I share a fun fact? So fun fact, who organizes this event? It's Seafair, because Seafair can mobilize units very quickly. They had 48 hours to turn all of this around, to talk to all the vendors in town, to get all of the, the signage, and they wrapped buses. So, I mean, they're tired.
And the loudspeakers, so we can't hear you guys at all. We're going to throw it back to you in studio. We'll be here the whole afternoon.
Alrighty, and that place is going to be packed, Occidental Park, in just a few minutes.
Joyce, I want to throw out another name, and Alan was throwing a lot of names, and I know you would have mentioned this name, and I'm going to throw it out. 1977 manager, 1979 manager and player of the Seattle Sounders, Jimmy Gabriel. And we talked about Brian Schmetzer and why he's so great is because he respects the history and he credits the history during his press conference before the MLS Cup. He talked about you, he talked about Pete Fewing over at Seattle University, and he mentioned Jimmy Gabriel so many times. I know Jimmy would love to be there, but here's Brian Schmetzer right here, guys. And Alan, hold that thought on Jimmy, but here's Coach Schmetzer.
He was addressing the crowd.
He might be on the other side there.
Quick and short. And there's the King 5 mobile mic from Chris Daniels going up
but
top.
I'm glad you said quick and short because there it is.
He's got his hands on the cup. Come on, Coach.
Schmetzer, to his credit, always defers. I mean, even at the celebration at this thing, he was hard to find. He let the players just enjoy the moment, and Brian really kind of stayed on the outskirts of that whole trophy celebration.
No, you're right, Paul, because I was right there on the ropes near him, and the players were all on the stage. Brian Schmetzer was not. He was looking for his family. He wanted to be with his wife, his kids,
he also
and his
had
brothers.
some tears too.
Yes, he did.
Some tears.
Yeah.
That was very sweet.
Yeah, it was emotional.
And that tells you about the man.
Yeah, and that's my point is that he's very quick to defer credit to his players. Even right off the top of the show, when Jim and Michael were talking to him, and he was just pointing to the guys saying they did it. And when it comes to winning soccer matches throughout the season, he's like they did it. And if they want to turn things around, it's up to them. We can only isn't that right, Coach?
Hey, even when things were not going well in the middle of the season, with all the players missing, the injuries, he never complained. He was always upbeat. The most marvelous thing for me as an insider coach, the day before the game in the final, he complimented Rodriguez and said nice things about him, and he hadn't had a good year because he'd been injured and everything, and high expectations for him. And who came in and scored the beautiful goal, the second goal?
Right.
Rodriguez. That was the coach being positive about him, and he hadn't been playing.
We saw Steph Fry. Kind of amazing when you look back at Steph Fry. Oh, by the way, where did he play before the Sounders? Yeah, he played for Toronto FC. Seattle went out and got Steph Fry, and he has been absolutely amazing in goal between the pipes for the Sounders during his tenure here.
Yeah, and the Sounders got him as damaged goods, Alan. He was beat up over there, and he was injured when the season before was like, but they took a chance on this guy to stay healthy, and he's done nothing but stay healthy. And he's fourth in the league in saves and fourth in the amount of in save percentage, so it's pretty solid.
Well, Ziggy brought him in from Toronto, and I remember Stefan saying, well, I was fed up with having coaches. He had 5 coaches in 2 years in Toronto that were trying to find a way, and he came here, and he's adopted this town as his own, and he's a wonderful man. He has a great wife. He has 2 dogs that most people would think are ugly, but he loves them. But he's, for me, it would be hard to say who's the MVP, but most people, I think, would say Stephen Fry has to be in there.
Oh, I think
It's great to see him holding both of those.
Yes.
And you talk about you guys talk about the future. Danny Leyva, who we just saw there. I mean, this is a 16-year-old on the roster. I mean, you have the Defiance team now, which is basically Sounders 2, which are these homegrown Sounders kids that they go out and find at 15 and 16. How key is that to have that part of the organization
now?
now?
Defiance is beginning to win now, which means they must have good top players. The academy is doing great. Adrian's throwing lots of money into the academy, and people like Labour and many. Don't forget the University of Washington is doing great soccer. Seattle U and Peter Fewing's doing great. So the future of the young kids coming through. And
Aren't
the
a couple players
aspirations
coming up next year from the academy? Aren't a couple players coming up?
Oh, they always bring them up. They bring 4 or 5 out to practice almost every day. And if you see something special in practice, you go, we got one. Push him a bit. And, but it's a wonderful club, and it's going to be better and better.
Well, you can tell that as a coach. You know when you have some talent there, and we're starting to see the wheels roll. So that's got to get people along the parade route very excited that the Sounders are starting to cruise down the streets and make their way to the big celebration at the end of it. So it's great for the fans to get out there. You almost saw they had that cup up there, and they didn't quite tell those guys that bus was going to start moving, and they almost lost a player.
I have a question for you, Paul.
Go ahead.
Because you've covered football, you've covered sports for, I don't know, 3 decades now. To see the Clink filled with more fans than have ever filled it for a football game, what was that like?
Well, I think what it goes back to what Alan is saying. I mean, this team, when Atlanta came in a couple years ago, they just sparked the attendance. They led the league in attendance for the last couple of years because they're the new kids on the block. They're getting 70,000. Now they're averaging about 50. But the Sounders have always averaged 40. And it makes it seem like, so the Sounders are second in attendance, but really when you look at how long they've been in this league, they've led this league in attendance every season for the most part. And next year, Alan, you have to think, are they going to open this up even more from 40,000? Are they going to open up more of that upper level? Because they do that for Portland, and they do that for Vancouver when they bring in the big rivals. But how much will they open it up for just the Galaxy, the LAFC, like some of these other teams that have been coming?
But can you imagine if we signed a Mexican player? Just say we signed a Mexican player, the Mexicans would push the crowd. I sent an email to Adrian when Chiquito was available. Chicharito, the Mexican who was playing for West Ham, he was available. And I said, do you want to go up to 50,000 a game? Sign Chicharito. And they've seen what Villa did for LA City. He scored 34 goals in the regular season. If we could find somebody like him to play alongside Ruidiaz, and a couple of defenders maybe. But
let's get out to Chris Daniels again. He's tracking with the players in the buses. What do you got, Chris?
Well, we are just moving here down 4th Avenue, and you can see Russell Wilson, Sierra, Adrian Hanauer, some of the minority owners here on this second bus, posing for photos right now. And just above us, your MLS Cup champion Seattle Sounders. We understand there are 2 cups here for this parade for the 2 stars that you now see on the side of the buses for the 2016 MLS Cup Championship and the 2019 MLS Cup Championship. Let's see, Sierra right here. And Russell getting the crowd into a frenzy. Russell just back from, obviously, that epic win against the San Francisco 49ers. Jenny Durkan, the mayor of Seattle, right here as well. Adrian Hanauer. If you follow the King 5 mic flag, he's right over the top there as well. We're going to continue to use our fancy extendo microphone here as we continue to walk. You can see all of the fans that have lined up. My colleagues Jake Wittenberg, Mimi Jung are along the parade route as well, guys.
Yeah, we're hearing the us versus them chant. It's the perfect time. Isn't this amazing? This is the very front of the parade. You're holding the banner, buddy. How does this feel?
Great.
Yeah. How did you get this job?
I didn't get this job.
How did you get this job?
I just showed up and started cheering.
What's it mean right now to lead this parade after such a victory?
I want to cry. I'm so happy. This is the greatest soccer team here. We love the Sounders. Go Sounders!
Go Sounders! How's it feel, sir? How you feeling?
Good. Great. Wonderful.
Mimi, you got a little friend there too.
What's it like to be here walking in this parade with your son, leading the parade?
Oh, it's amazing having him out here and getting to experience this at his age. Just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal experience.
Is this kind of a dream? Do you feel like you're living? What's going through your mind right now as you're holding the flag, leading the parade?
I feel like I'm playing.
You're a winner. Don't you feel like a winner? Everybody out here, there's so much energy. It is so amazing.
Did he say, I feel like I'm playing?
I feel like I'm playing, yeah.
Nicely done, man. Nicely done. How cool is this? We've got folks not only lining the streets, but up here in the parking garage, up in the windows, and all the cell phone cameras are out taking pictures of this historic moment. Very cool to be right in the front here, guys.
Thanks a lot, you guys. We'll get back to you in just a little bit.
You know, and Joyce, we mentioned the fans, and I think we can't say enough of why. You talked about the crowd, the 69,000.
Which had to be a factor in the win.
Why, and it was. I mean, it was huge in this win, but we have to throw out the Emerald City supporters, Gorilla FC, North End Faithful, and the East Side supporters. These are four major groups, and there are other fan bases that go to these games, but these four groups, especially the Emerald City supporters, they have been there from the beginning, thick and thin. I mean, they always show up no matter what the record is, no matter when the match is. They are always there for this team, and they are a huge part of that. And I believe Chris Daniels is back with some more interviews. Go ahead, Chris.
Stefan Fry.
Hey, Stefan, what do you think?
You're crafty is what I think. No, it's awesome. Super happy to be able to do this with the fans.
And you're going to do it twice. Second time.
Yes, gotta enjoy it. Who knows if you ever get a chance to do it again, so awesome.
How is this one different than 2016?
We got to do it in front of our fans, with our fans. It's amazing, love it.
All right, Stefan Fry, thank you. With our very fancy extended microphone, sorry. As we try to get the Sounders here on the double bus, let's send it back to you.
It's working like a champ, man. It's like he's fishing out there, and he finally got one on the line there.
I mean, that's why he's one of the best reporters in the world right there. He found a way.
Can I make a point about the Emerald City Supporters Club? I knew at halftime that we were kicking towards them. They were kicking towards the fans. And we got the 3 goals. And they are worth a goal start, those fans behind the goal. They are spectacular. The post-game show, it was, thank God there wasn't a Seahawk game the next day. They would never have got the field cleaned in time. It was full of emerald green and whatever. But those fans behind the goal loved every minute of it. And I guarantee you they can't wait for the next season to begin.
And a near heart attack in the first half, might I just throw that out there?
You talk about me. I mean, I'm getting old.
What was going on with the first half? Let's be honest. Had us all terrified.
But you mentioned Emerald City supporters. Alan Hinton and I were there at 7 a.m. that morning doing live shots to preview it. And who are the only other people in the stadium at that point are the Emerald City supporters setting up for the big day. Brian Spencer mentioned it the day before. I'm so excited to hear their chants, to see their tifo, just to see what they do. And they do provide a difference there.
It's quite an operation putting it all together, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and then when we're there doing live shots after the match, they're always the last to leave because they're always hauling their stuff out of there. And, you're asking if they want a hand. No, we got it because they're so used to it. But, for the fans that don't get a chance to get into CenturyLink Field and get a chance to watch a Sounders match, you probably have already heard that you're not sitting during these matches. You're standing the entire time. And as you talked about the supporters that are just chanting the entire time and singing the entire time. They're having a great time out there. So
let's get to Kristen Ayers because this is her view down along the parade route. Kristen, what's going on where you are?
Yeah, we're here at 4th and Bell, and, we've had people lining up since a little earlier. It was a little calm, a little chill earlier on, but as the parade is starting to come down the street, you can see the flags and the lights and the marchers coming on down the street. People have started to gather along the street here, and there's
We lost her audio there, but they are coming her way down along 4th Avenue, making their way to Occidental Park, and Kristen will get back to you too. But yeah, all along the route, excited fans. because this day, who thought we would have 2 MLS Cups?
Well,
a lot of people
that
apparently.
guy next to you probably thought we were going to have 2.
But I mean, wow.
And this guy here thinks we've already won 4 or 5.
It's just incredible. Oh, you calling us a dynasty?
Joyce, I'm already crowned him a dynasty. The local ties, and this is another reason why I think this team is so special. We've already mentioned Brian Spencer, Nathan Hale High School. Adrian Hanauer went to the University of Washington. Chris Henderson from Edmonds went to Cascade High. Tom Dutra, a name we have yet to mention. He is the goalkeepers coach. He works so closely with Casey Keller and now with Steph Fry. From Olympia, went to Timberline High School. Coach Preki played with the Tacoma Stars. He's helping out with his team. Jordan Morris from Mercer Island High School. Wade Weber, he's part of the Defiance coaching staff. He grew up in the Seattle area. There are so many local ties with his team. It's amazing. And Tom Dutra, Alan, if we could talk about him and what he has done, he has been sensational.
I watch the pre-game goalkeeper warm-ups with Tom every game. And he's absolutely brilliant. He's the same every day in practice with the goalkeepers. Stephen Fry respects and loves Tommy because Stephen, you're only as good as your backup or your coach sometimes. Casey Keller loves Tommy Dutra. I keep telling him, he's got a wonderful right leg. He kicks the ball hard and long and crosses. I said, Tommy, don't pull the muscle. Because if you pull your right quadricep, you'll be out of action. but Stephen Fry is a wonderful guy. Tommy's the best. He has a wonderful family, and like Brian wore a T-shirt after the game, family. Yeah. And I think that explains it better than anything.
I think so.
We're all in it together, win or lose. In my day, it was win or lose on the booze. You know what I mean? But it's a wonderful feeling.
All right, let's set it back there. It's a wonderful feeling going on out there as the parade continues and heading toward Kristen Ayers. Kristen, take it away.
All right, and here we are. You can see the parade approaching us now, and just before the parade, we're seeing a contingent of police officers, motorcycle officers coming through, and some officers on bikes here. But you can see on the edges of the parade route here, people are starting to get excited as the parade is moving toward us. Folks are jumping into the streets, pulling out their cell phones, taking selfies. You can see that there's a little bit of a different vibe here than I've heard previous parades. We have the barriers up here, so fans are just kind of along the sides, waving into the crowd, cheering, pulling out their cameras, taking pictures, but not actually getting directly onto the parade route. We'll see if that continues as we go on. We had a quick conversation with police earlier, and they said that they'd like to see fans not step onto the parade route and start following behind the buses. That's what they're trying to avoid, and that's why you're seeing that presence of officers on bikes right now. But you can hear the noise building as the crowd comes closer, flags waving. There are fans who are walking along the parade route who are following along and presumably on their way to that rally at the very end, willing to take that walk, excited to see the players as they're coming through on that double-decker bus coming through now. But this is exactly what fans have been waiting for, this crowd right here, and they're enjoying every minute of it.
Kristen, thanks so much. And they're going to be there just moments from now. So exciting for so many people in Seattle. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, it's funny. People are starting to kind of drift out into the parade like it's a march to the match. I mean, but our own Mark Wright got to participate in that march to the match the other day, and it was the most massive march they've had in this city to a soccer match. So it's very cool to allow the people to come in there and enjoy that and experience that. And I know Mark was thrilled.
You know what's particularly nice for me? All you guys at King 5 love soccer. Mark Wright loves soccer.
Oh my gosh, he and his
Lottie
kids.
Matsakawa used to be a love soccer. And so when I come in here as a soccer person, it'd be easy to say, soccer, just sit over here. But no, you've always treated us with the best. Talk about teamwork. What about the police?
Yeah.
That's teamwork, isn't it? Have you seen the way they bring the people into the stadium and out after the game and before the teamwork from the police is everywhere. The teamwork from you guys is special. And the love that you show and the enthusiasm you show for the Sounders and for all the sports is really lovely for me to see, because don't forget I'm used to the English style, where you go bang.
I'm not going to add up the years of Chris and Paul.
Well,
sports in this town.
I didn't intend to say that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun for you, Alan.
They're legit.
It's fun for all of us, and it's fun for everybody when a team wins a championship. Let's head back out to Jake and Mimi.
Yeah, we're just watching Russell Wilson and Sierra up there on the bus with the trophy. Look at them, and people are going crazy. Wow.
Yeah, you couldn't help but notice the chance for MVP. Hey, I got to ask you a quick question. How's it feel to be here right now?
Great.
Yeah. You recognize that guy up there in the front of the bus?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. Yeah, cool.
I mean, we can try and get Durkan or something.
Way to go.
Mimi, who you got?
Hey guys, what's it like to see Russell Wilson and Sierra? What's it like to see them with the trophy right there?
Awesome. It feels great. Yeah, thank you so much. This is fucking awesome.
Okay. All righty.
Colorful language. All right, we're going to keep finding some more people.
Hey,
as we
Blaine,
walk
you tell
around
me
the
if you
parade
want
route
me to
here.
try and get the mayor or...
There's a lot going on down there on the streets on such a special day.
Yeah, it's funny because they've all got their cameras up and they're all glued into the buses coming by and trying to see the players and you know, we're trying to ask them questions, so it's a tough job out there for Mimi and Jake because everybody's trying to enjoy the moment for sure.
I was like,
And it is special to have, obviously, Russell Wilson and Sierra, but there are some diehard Sounders fans that have been with this club for a long time, and they're pretty new to this group, so they're giving credit to Adrian Hanauer. And I think Chris Daniels is ready with more interviews. Chris, take it away.
The mayor. Go ahead, Chris.
Greatest sports
Hi,
city
we are
in
standing
America
by,
right now.
standing by here with Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan, who is on the parade route as well. Mayor, what do you think?
You know what? We got the best fans in America. We got the best teams. We're having parades for today the Sounders. We've had them for the Storm, the Seawolves. We got Russell Wilson here. We want another parade. So let's go, Stars up, everybody.
What do you think this means for the city?
I think it's a great thing for the city. One, look at all the people out here just having fun, coming together, doing great things. The second thing is it shows we're the best fans ever. We're going to get the World Cup here. Everyone's going to love it. Seattle, no stopping us now.
So, speaking of the World Cup, what do you think that 69,000 fans had to say about bringing it here?
I think that was 69,000 messages saying Seattle's a great soccer town, or as they say in Europe, a great football town.
All right, Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan. High above here on the parade route. She's on the same bus with Russell Wilson and Sierra, as she mentioned.
They've got a great shot at landing at least a round or two, you know, a round of group play. So it'll be interesting to see. But I mean, especially after this, you know, when you see the swell of excitement and the amount of fans that went to just that one match, you know, close to 70,000. So
and it gives you goosebumps, Paul. And I think we also have to give credit. What builds a franchise are great rivalries. And Portland and Vancouver, when they came into this league, and Alan Hinton was part of Vancouver, they've built this rivalry up. I remember a few years back when the Portland Timbers bought a billboard in Seattle and it said Portland Timbers, Soccer City, USA. What does that do to have a billboard like that in Seattle? That just fires up the fan base here. It fires up people like Adrian Hanauer. It fires up Brian Spencer, and that just you want that competition. And those rivalries have been huge, I think, for soccer, not only in Seattle but in the entire Pacific Northwest and the Northwest.
There was a time when the Whitecaps would come here and they'd bring 5,000 fans.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. 5,000 fans from Vancouver. But then television took over, and of course, you got to say NBC Sports Network promoting English Premier League is spectacular for the growth of soccer. It's also good for rugby because rugby follows the NBC Sports Network EPL. So this is a real sporting town, and how can we go wrong? We have the background, the history, the future is bright, and we hope it goes better and better.
Well, you can only, you know, we know what it's like when the Timbers come to town, the Whitecaps come to town, they take the curtains off and they'll go to 50,000 and maybe next year they'll open it all up and see if they can get close to 60 for those. But I think previous to this, the largest crowd to see a soccer match at CenturyLink Field was against the Timbers.
Yes, it was.
So, you know, you're talking about, you know, we know all about those rivalries. I'll tell you right now, Portland would do whatever they could to expand their soccer stadium.
So what do you think is going? What do you think is going on now in Portland and Vancouver? They are looking at what we're doing.
Yeah.
They're on the TV.
This is
all
salt
this.
their wound now.
They are going to spend money like crazy. They both had poor seasons. they got to be so envious of us, and it's making our fans very happy.
We have Chris Daniels with the coach. Schmetzer, go ahead,
right.
Chris.
You gotta make sure we keep
Yeah, we are here as Brian Schmetzer has now gotten off the bus to sign autographs with some of the fans. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Why'd you get off the bus?
Because I love being with all my fellow Seattleites, and I love the fact that everybody is out here in a good mood.
I mean, you got pretty emotional on Sunday. Have you had a chance to process everything?
Yeah.
Your second championship?
Yeah, it's after the game I was emotional just because it was a long week. I mean, we were all just grinding, trying to get a training together, do all that sort of stuff. And when the game was over, we finally won. It was like, oh, just this relief. So, you know, it was good. It was great. I'm processing it all now. Might take me a few more years, but I'm certainly happy right now.
What made this team special? What made this team different?
Team special? It's these people right here.
1974.
Yeah, 1974. There you go.
Lake City Hawk.
The team has continued from all of the times when we were in Memorial Stadium, the Kingdome, you know, down at Starfire, now at CenturyLink. I mean, this is it right here.
And you can hear the fans around Brian Schmetzer chanting his name. Let's send it to my colleague Natalie Swaby. Natalie.
Hi there. Yeah, we are at 4th and Denny, and I'm talking with some fans out here who are just waiting for the parade to finally get to us. I want to bring in Doug right here, and you told me you've been a longtime fan, and the deciding factor to be here today was what?
The overtime win by the Seahawks last night decided I'm going. I can't miss it now.
Feeling some city pride, and then also why are you proud of the Sounders?
Well, because they win championships, and they're very rare, and they've done it twice.
And you made the trip from Puyallup to be here today.
Yes, I did.
Thanks for talking with us. Also want to talk to Ernie over here. Okay, longtime fan, and you have a special ring.
Yes, I have in 2016 when they won the MLS Cup in 2016, the Sounders were nice enough to give each season ticket holder a ring. So it's a replica. Okay, it's not like the ones that they had the players got with diamonds. There's no diamonds on this one. I wish there were.
How excited were you on Sunday? Try to tell me what that moment was like.
The most. My friends and I were friends, and Todd Stewart, Corey Judson, and myself, Ernie Liu. We are season ticket holders. They are season ticket holders since the inaugural season 2009. I've been a season ticket holder 2013. We were so excited. I woke up at 1 a.m. on Sunday. I could not sleep. My friends were giving me bad time. I was texting them at 6 a.m. I said, I gotta go. We gotta go. The whole experience was amazing. Like I said, everybody before the day, I said this will probably be a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, how many times can you go to watch your home team win a championship in Seattle? I mean, it's only been done a few times. I think the 1916 Seattle Metropolitan NHL, the Seattle Storm here won a championship in 2004. The Sonics in '79 went into DC. The Seahawks in Super Bowl probably will never be here. Our stadium's not big enough. And the Mariners, well, I think I might have six-pack abs before they get to win a World Series here.
All the excitement is building up to this moment. You can see people lining the streets and just waiting for this parade to arrive. We're going to stay out here and we'll keep bringing you updates, but I'll send it back to you.
You're here to see me, right?
All right, we'll take it here. So this is the Thompson family from Edmonds. They're just seeing the front of the parade come by.
Go Sounders!
Good to see you guys here. So what do you think of the parade so far?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's so exciting. The MLS Cup was here, and we have the parade. It's awesome. Woo!
Who's your favorite player here so far?
Tell me, who's your favorite player?
Who's your favorite player?
Rui Diaz. Rui Diaz.
Rui Diaz. Dude, you must really like soccer.
Yes.
How's it feel to bring the family here today? What it take to get here?
What a day. Yeah. What a day. It wasn't too bad, actually. Came down early.
Good. You got to cut out of school and work.
Absolutely.
It's all good.
Absolutely.
All good. Do you recognize Russell Wilson, too?
Russell!
It's a family affair, guys. Back to you for now. It's so cool.
Because he wants to be one with the people, one with the fans, and Chris, that was pretty cool because that's just his character.
Well, I was going to say that's who Brian Schmetzer is. We've been to hundreds of his Tuesday, Wednesday press conferences after practice. Alan Hinton, you've been there with me. I mean, he's always a man of Seattle, always talking about Seattle. If the Seahawks have a big win, he talks about that. If the Mariners do something special, he talks about that. The Seattle Storm, he congratulates them. Pete Carroll this morning, by the way, in his radio broadcast, talked about the Sounders and congratulated them. And another local guy that has done well, Adrian Hanauer, and he's joined with Chris Daniels right now. Chris?
Adrian, good to see you.
You too.
What do you think of the turnout today?
It's awesome. It's fantastic. Doesn't surprise me one bit when our fans show up, you know. Huge day. So proud of the players, coaches. Just an awesome day for the city.
11 years ago when this franchise started in Seattle, did you have these visions of these kind of parades now twice in 4 years?
I'd love to say I was that present and, you know, like visionary, but you know, we just when we started 11 years ago, we got to work, decided we wanted to make sure that we could challenge for championships, and you know, if you do that 11 years in a row, you're going to win some championships, and leads to days like today.
What made this team different in 2019 versus, say, 2016 with the first MLS Cup?
You know, look, this team maybe didn't have quite as easy a path after, you know, from summer on. That 16 team just seemed destined in some ways. This one had to fight and claw and, you know, find different ways to win, and it came together, gelled as a team, maybe better than I've ever seen a team come together. And then I think the coaching, the tactical shifts were just tremendous, really, really smart. And then playing at home in front of 69,000 plus, I think led us to win. You know, the first half, but the fans willed us to that victory.
2 stars now above the crest.
Yeah,
what do you do?
Need to get a new jersey, some new clothing. Yeah, you know, look, we'll enjoy today, and tomorrow we'll go to work and try to figure out how to get a 3rd star.
All right, Adrian Hanauer, Sounders majority owner since the start. Enjoy today.
Thank you.
As he's now walking the streets, he got off the bus. It's too much fun down here on the streets. Along with my colleague Natalie. Natalie's on the street as well. Natalie.
All right, take a look. Here comes the parade at 4th and Denny. And wow, just a sea of Sounders fans coming this way. You can hear them shouting. Seattle! Here they come right now. Crowd's going wild behind me.
I want to jump in and talk about Adrian Hanauer. I mean, we heard a little bit there but as he tells Chris Daniels, they need to get to work right away to see how they can win a 3rd cup. And I've run into Adrian, as you can imagine, very often throughout the years, even in the USL days when he was building that franchise. And they never rest. This ownership group of the Sounders, Alan, they never rest. They're always looking to get better, which is the reason in 2016 they got Ladero midway through the season, and he is really, as I mentioned earlier, he's the straw that stirs this drink. This team, he's got such a high motor, he brings all those other players up with him. They see how he hustles out there, and they're like, if we don't hustle like our captain hustles, then we shouldn't be out here. And then he goes out and gets Rui Diaz, who's known to be a finisher, just a goal scorer. You say he doesn't run very much, like it's one of those things, but you know, soccer is a series of sprints. It's not a marathon. You run fast, you stop, you catch your breath. And this guy knows exactly what he's doing up there. He's a tremendous finisher. So my point is, Hanauer never rests, this ownership group never rests getting better. Yes, they won a cup. They're already looking on how they can improve this team next year.
Well, don't forget we had Obafemi Martins, who was fabulous here. And Clint Dempsey did a very good job when he was here. But the chemistry is better today than ever. The leader is Ladero. He's the best trainer. He runs harder than anybody. He does workouts before the real practice starts. I've seen him at training camp. He'll go on the bike in the hotel for half an hour. Then he'll go out to practice. He's the last one off the practice field, and he just loves to play. And seeing him with his boy, which is very special to him, is just wonderful for that. And it's going to be interesting now to see, like, Ladero go back to Uruguay. Rui Diaz will go back to Peru. You don't think his mates are going to say, hey, how'd you do? Well, it's fabulous in Seattle, which it is.
Yeah, they could be some of the best recruiters, can't they?
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's what it's all about. But Adrian's got his finger on the pulse. He's an involved owner every day in the office doing real good stuff. The whole staff, the coaching staff, Preki, who played for me at the Tacoma Stars, is marvellous. Pineda is marvellous. Jimmy Traore is marvellous. Dutra is marvellous. The fitness guy is marvellous. My question is, these 3 top assistant coaches, how long is it going to be before somebody poaches them to be head coaches?
Well, it's a good point because they're going to come after him, because when you have a organization that knows how to win, other organizations that aren't winning are going to try to find a way and get some answers. I think we've mentioned, everybody, a lot about the offensive scores on this team. Nico Ladero, Raul Rui Diaz, Jordan Morris, but we have to remember, defense wins championships. We can't say enough about Roman Torres, Kim Keehee, Brad Smith, and Kelvin Leerdam, who no score. They go in at halftime, and Brian Spencer and Tommy Dutra told me this out. He said we were getting our butts kicked. We were losing that first half. There was no score. Brian Spencer didn't panic. He talked to the defense, keep doing what you're doing, keep clearing the ball. And it's Kelvin Leerdam, out of all these players, who comes through. It was a deflection goal, but he was the right place, right time. He hits that goal, and it just kind of was like the entire stadium, like,
changed the whole momentum.
Everything. I mean, everything changed, and it just opened up the game for the Sounders.
It was down the Emerald City end where they go nuts. And
we needed that.
Oh, we did. And then, of course, the second goal from Rodriguez was a picture. And the last one, the curler.
I want to see that one again.
Oh, yeah.
Because what do you see, that 5'7"?
Joyce,
he goes around this huge guy.
Yeah. You watch the
smoked him.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to say it, but
that's what he does.
It was just a beautiful goal.
Well, and you talk about the things this team overcame, and Chris talked about the defense. You know, Chad Marshall's body just basically broke down and forced him to retire. Yeah. They went through the Raul Rui Diaz had his own injuries. Will Bruin out for the season with his injury. You can't forget what he did earlier in the season. And then maybe the biggest thing of all is the fact that, and we talked about this, Alan, that Ramon Torres got suspended for 10 games for PED use, and Brian stuck with
what a great decision that was. You know,
a lot of people didn't support that, did they?
I might have asked him to leave. I might have, if I'd have been there, I might have said, we need to pay you off. We'll do a deal on the remaining of your contract. Yeah. But he came back and scored the winning goal. He scored the winning goal against Minnesota. Now, don't forget, he scored the winning PK in Toronto in 2016.
Yeah.
But he's also the presidente of Panama. Because don't forget, he's the one, in effect, that knocked the U.S. national team out of the World Cup.
And he's the best dancer. We may see that. We may see that later on, because everybody may be wondering, where does the parade go? Well, it's going to Fisher Pavilion.
What about his new haircut? I mean,
he's got a great haircut, Al. But 1:30 is when the championship rally is going to begin at Fisher Pavilion. Matt Stretch Johnson will be the MC of that. He is the voice of the Sounders. So that is coming up. We're less than a half an hour away from the Sounders taking the big stage, and that is where every player gets up on stage. They'll say a few messages. We may see a little dancing from Ramon Torres, but that is going to be a special part of today as well.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about the rebuilding of the team. You brought that up, how they really have to start tomorrow thinking about the future. Aren't there some guys, their contracts are up, they may or may not come back? I mean, they really literally do start tomorrow.
Well, then you've also got, they've got an extra almost a month off now. Because the previous seasons, Chris, I think, was in December, wasn't it? When we went to Toronto and it was freezing. It was so damn cold. So I think the players will have an additional rest. Will we be in the Champions League next year? I think we will, based on what I've read. Yeah. And then we'll get ready for the season. Some player, is there a new team coming in next year?
New, right?
Yeah, in the last 6 years, in the 6-year stretch, they're adding 8 teams. So they're in the middle of this 6-year stretch. Just tells you about the success the league has had.
So that's a big decision for the club to make, because you can only protect 12 players. And we've got a deep squad here.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at the bench on Sunday and I go, we're all right here. And then, of course, Brian switches the tactics, moves the wonderful young player we have, Jordan Morris, from left to right. Brings in Delam late to staunch up the midfield. We need to talk about Svensson a little bit.
Okay, let's do that in a sec.
He's done marvelous.
That's a good point.
Let's go back up there for a second.
Yep.
I believe Jake and Mimi, what do you got going?
Well, the parade has come
All
up
right,
2nd
Joyce,
Avenue
we just made
North.
the turn. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm probably talking over you. We can hardly hear anything. So 2nd and Denny making the turn up here to the pavilion. And let me jump in here for a second and see how these guys are feeling. All right, we made the turn. How we feeling?
Awesome!
What do you think of the turnout here today in downtown Seattle?
It's great! Woo!
I think they're feeling pretty good, maybe. Huge credit to everybody for all the walking, especially Mike Perry backwards.
Kudos back. All these fans are walking up 2nd right now. We're almost officially in lawn where the rally will take place. It's been so cool to see people come to their office buildings, during the day and being a part of the celebration. And it's such an amazing community effort. Like we just feel like we're a part of this victory parade.
Right, when we made the turn on to Denny, the Space Needle was above, and Russell Wilson and Zach hoisting the trophy, and Stephen Fry in the front giving the up, and Mayor, and it felt like just a surreal Seattle moment, honestly.
Yes, and it just gave me goosebumps. So we are getting up to the top of the hill right now. Do you feel out of breath?
Thanks, you guys.
That's what happens when you go mobile a little bit. It's a little broken up out there. But can you imagine if Russell Wilson and Sierra got off the bus and started walking around like
Everyone freak out.
Yeah. And Mimi throws out the term goosebumps. I guess I just have to ask Alan Hinton, because in my mind, and I'm going to brag up our guest here today, nobody has been more involved with soccer in the Pacific Northwest over the past 4 decades than Alan Hinton, who came here, I believe, 40 years ago.
This month.
You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into this sport, from Tacoma to Seattle to Vancouver. You've been so much of this sport in Seattle, and a big reason why the success is here. I guess as you watch this, Alan, as you see the parade, the thousands of fans out there, just kind of your thoughts as you look at this.
Well, it's just a dream come true for me. Because, we lost our son when he was 9 in 1976. They all said I came to America to be involved in soccer. We really came as a family to America to try and rebuild our lives again after such a tragic loss. I always wanted the job in Seattle, because don't forget, I was assistant coach player in Vancouver. I used to come to the Kingdom often with Tony Waiters, the coach. And I always felt the Sounders was the best club. And when I got the job here in November of '79, it was just wonderful. Great owners in those days, the Clucho brothers, who said to me one thing which is important. Alan, if you need some money to get some talent, but you got to promise me, coach, I want you to win, I want you to play entertaining soccer, and I want you to make the fans happy. And I think we did.
Yeah, you did.
Along the way, there's been some real troughs and highs and lows. But I got to tell you, through it all, and Adrian Hanauer and Joe Roth, and we must never underestimate Adrian Hanauer and Todd Lewicki. That was a match made in heaven between the Sounders and the Seahawks. Of course, Paul Allen is still, I think, a 25% owner of the club.
Yeah,
but it's remarkable what they've done in this town. I'd like to ask Russell Wilson a question. Hey, can you kick a ball? Do you ever kick a ball? Because I know
he probably can kick a ball.
I think he can. He can play baseball. But what a job he's done. He goes to Children's Hospital once a week. He's got so much energy, and he and his wife, they're vivacious. Everybody loves them. But more importantly, he does the job on the pitch.
Yeah, that's all he
does. Some people are mouthy and excitable and popular. Don't always do the job on the pitch, but Russell, as we saw again last night, that run he made late.
Yes.
I was in the Woodmark Hotel watching the game, and we all cheered when he ran that 50-yard run. And he slides in soccer, by the way, that will be an over-the-top tackle, red card.
Cleats up there, get the studs up.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think he got involved in the Sounders, he and Sarah?
I think he loves the city. I mean, this city's been fantastic for him. I mean, not only has he become a very wealthy man, deservedly, he loves it here. And of course, he's the leader of the whole deal. How can you not love playing in this city? We've got great ownership. We've got great ownership at the Seahawks, great ownership at the Sounders, great ownership, John Stanton, who's a friend of mine, of the Mariners, and of course Todd Lewicki and the wonderful high group of people that's in the NHL, and the Huskies. I'm going to a Husky game, by the way, against Wazoo.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got 2 great seats.
I bet you do.
$114 each. And you know how much it cost me?
Nothing.
But this city's marvelous.
All right, Joyce, take it away.
Let's go back out, see what guys are doing. Are we going to Jake and Mimi? Who are we going to? Let's find out. Steve and Michelle. Let's go to them. They are going to be.
Full disclosure, we can't hear you at all because the loudspeaker is so loud, but the crowd is certainly starting to get thicker and
take a
thicker.
look behind you.
Yeah, look at the staircase here. People are finally starting to come in from the streets, and this is turning from a crowd of hundreds to thousands.
Yeah, and so the fun thing is we're seeing a lot of people telling us why they came or what they skipped out on. You want to wave to everybody? She came up to us and said, I want to say hi.
So, hi, what's your name, sweetie?
Maya.
Maya, you're on TV. Say hi to King 5.
Okay, but I got to introduce you
Got a couple of
to
boys
these
from Team King
guys.
5.
Come
We'll
over
be waiting
here.
1 second, okay? Hang tight.
Okay, so we have Jonas and Dash, and Jonas, tell everybody why today is special.
Because it's my birthday.
And how old are you today?
7.
Happy birthday.
7. Not yet.
Okay, and do you think your teacher might be watching right now?
Probably not.
All right, who's your favorite player, Dash?
Hold on.
It's a great coverage.
All of them. Good
that's a great
Do you have
answer.
a different answer?
Probably all of them.
Probably. All right, so a lot of Sounders fans here. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hit with the flag. Anyway, we'll throw it back to you guys.
You see the ground. When we first took this shot, it was. They were just starting to build a little bit out there, but now you can see the fans are starting to pack it because they're getting ready for the big finale.
And
You
seeing
think McLemore's going to sing?
Macklemore, who knows? Macklemore, amazing. He was singing on Sunday, firing up the crowd,
Wouldn't that
and
be
seeing Steve Bunin there, who grew up in Mercer Island, very proud about being a Mercer Island native. Kind of reminds me of Jordan Morris. And I guess my question here is, Jordan Morris, great success at Mercer Island High School, runner-up in the state championships, goes to Stanford University, dominates at Stanford. How the Seattle Sounders get Jordan Morris is beyond me, because I think in my mind this is a guy that should be playing in Europe. This is a guy, and Alan, talk about this, because I think he has the talent to play in Europe where he could probably be making a lot more money, but he's decided to stay home. I know his father is on the staff, and it's a dream come true. He said it after the game, you can't write a Disney movie like this for me to win a championship in my backyard. But this is a guy in my mind who could be in Europe right now.
Ziggy Smith and I were very close. He asked me to go watch him play at Starfire. I watched Jordan play. Ziggy said, what do you think? I said, he's a bulldog. He's a pit bull, shoulders, got a speed, can run forever. What a marvelous thing. He's a diabetic, It's remarkable how he plays and how he has to monitor his sugar level. But he could play in Europe, but I'll tell you the story, how Ziggy finally got him. This is what Ziggy told me. He said, Coach, I'm making my move tonight. So he went to see Jordan, and Jordan was going to go to a German first division team, but with third from bottom. So Ziggy very smartly said, what happens if you go to this club in Germany and they get relegated? And if they get relegated, the chances are you'll have a different coach who might not like you. So he signed for the Sounders. But now he's got a big contract now, and him and his mate, Christian Roldan, they're like two brothers.
All right, and we see the players are coming in now, and it's just starting to build down there at the finale. Chris Daniels has that fishing rod out, I think. Chris?
Yes, I do. It's come in handy today. I heard already Stephen Fry refer to it as crafty. Crafty. Is that the hashtag today? Yes, we are waiting now for these buses to unload. We just saw one of the cups come off, the first bus, and that second bus that held the mayor and Russell Wilson and Sierra, they are also walking behind as we see some of these players now coming out. We're going to celebrate a second star here today in front of the Sounders fans. You'll see the crest coming up next season. We'll have a couple of stars. You already see the scarves are out, the MLS Cup champion scarves, the knit caps on all of the players today as they've been making their way through Seattle down 4th Avenue from Westlake Center here to Seattle Center. And now it's time to celebrate and lift that MLS Cup in front of the fans here. I know my colleagues have been telling you what to expect, but we do expect quite a rally down here at the Fisher Pavilion at the Seattle Center campus. There is some historical significance with that, as I think Chris and Paul and Alan, you've been talking about kind of the roots of the Sounders, as everybody likes to say, born in '74. We're waiting for more people to come off as I can start to see that second bus unloading. For now, we will send it back to you as we can hear the music starting to pump and people starting to get ready for the big celebration here at Seattle Center.
Thank you, Chris. How about those days back there? Real quick thought about playing in the Kingdom, because fans loved that place too back in the day, and you coached there.
I loved the Kingdom. I thought it was big time. Don't forget, I used to come here when I was coaching the Whitecaps. I just loved it. And I used to tell the players, don't worry about the AstroTurf, it's great.
What do you love about it?
Well, I didn't really like it at all, but I had to tell the players, I don't want to hear the AstroTurf. I don't want to hear the bad AstroTurf. The first time I saw a British player do a slide tackle, he ripped his thigh. And all the other Brits who knew, they were laughing like this.
All right.
They go, he won't do that again. Certainly not in practice. And then, of course, they started introducing these undershorts, which stopped the glazing.
Yeah, that's smart.
No, the Kingdom was wonderful, and CenturyLink is, perfect.
Yeah, it's just different era, but a lot of fun for soccer fans. Let's go down to Steve and Michelle. Steve?
Ooh, okay. It's really picking up here, Steve.
It is, for sure. The parade is going from the streets to the pavilion here, again in the shadow of the Space Needle in Memorial Stadium, where the Sounders first played as a franchise back in 1974, and it all comes back here for the second MLS Cup trophy.
Hey, I want to tell you how the team is going to arrive. They're going to arrive through that little gate right there, and then we're told they are going to move halfway up to the main stage. There's an actual small stage right in the middle here, and they're going to greet the fans, then they're going to go to the main stage, but then at the end, that's when they're going to come back to the middle and hoist up the trophy.
Right, so we expect that you'll hear those speeches from the main stage where you can see the lights and you can hear the loudspeakers so loud that we can't barely hear ourselves. But then there is, like you were saying, that center stage, that's where they'll hoist the trophy. And all these fans, some of these fans have been lined up for a couple of hours.
Yeah, at least.
And now we're starting to fill it. We've got dogs, we got little kids taking the day off from school, parents, elders. It is really starting to bring up the energy here.
You know, we mentioned this earlier. It's really amazing how fast this all came together because they only had 48 hours to put all of this together, the parade, the event, and it's actually organized by Seafair, the Seafair folks. So, I mean, they know a thing or two about putting large-scale events together.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they'd been thinking this was going to happen. As you guys know, back in the studio, the team needed a major second-half push to make the playoffs for the 11th straight year. Now they bring home the cup. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. You were talking about playing in the Dome and why you loved it so much, and the AstroTurf. A lot of people don't even know what the Dome is.
Real quick.
Imagine how long ago that was.
There's Chris Daniels and Russell Wilson.
Right here.
It was amazing day, obviously, for Seattle. Special time. Go Sounders, baby.
Yeah, the kids there.
See,
hey, Garth.
He's all talked out after last night.
Garth.
He's exhausted after that incredible
Did I see him
live on the air?
Wow. Hey,
live
guys.
on the air.
Hi, live on the air. What's happening? We're down here in Seattle Center, right?
Yeah, what do you think of the parade?
It was awesome, man. It was fantastic. People lining the streets, both sides, waving. We had Russell Wilson in front of our bus. Got MVP chants along the parade right after his big game last night. So it's fun, man. It's a great group of people, and we're really proud of the guys and what we did.
This is a team that you helped construct. What made this team different this year than, say, teams in the past?
You know, I think any winning team, it comes down to what the locker room's like, and we had a good locker room, and that the guys really liked each other. We had to get through some adversity in the middle of the season after a fast start, and I think I pulled everybody together, and ultimately we came good in the end.
What do you do for an encore? Besides, you got a couple of stars now.
I think we got asked all this stuff. Are we a dynasty? And we're like, nah, not really. So we're going to try to win Champions League in the spring. Try to beat the best teams from all over CONCACAF, and maybe we get to the Club World Cup. And if we can do that, then we can start talking about maybe how good we really are.
All right, there you go. You're leaving a little something for people to chew on.
We got to do it. That said, I think this is the best Sounders team of all time. Couldn't be prouder of them. 2 titles, 3 finals in 4 years. You know, we're heading the right direction, and we really appreciate the support of all the fans and everybody who came out today. It's been an amazing day.
All right, Garth Lagerwey, General Manager, Sounders FC.
Thanks,
we'll let
man.
you have fun today.
I'll do that.
All right. We'll send it back to you guys.
Paul, that's a good general manager, taking a fan guy like me who's calling out dynasty, who's saying, hey, 11 seasons of playoffs, 4 U.S. Open Cup titles, 2 titles for the MLS Cup. He says, just simmer down, Egan. We're not a dynasty quite yet. And that is the sign of a great general manager that knows there's always work to be done.
But my question is, are they going to be able to keep him
first?
in Seattle?
Kids first?
Before we get to that, let's go out to Jake and Mimi.
Yeah, we made it to Fisher Pavilion lawn, and the fans are pumped. They can't wait to see some of the players come out. And we've got some kids from Kitsap, you guys. Are you guys ready and excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Who's your favorite player?
Favorite player?
Rudy Diaz.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, that family took the ferry over here today. What's it like to bring the family, bring the kids here? What's this experience for you?
Honestly, being season ticket holders of the Sounders has been a great experience for our families. It's one of the things that really lets you bring your kids with you and enjoy it all, so it's been nice.
Yeah, this is something to see the parade and everybody. How would it take to get the kids out of school today?
Oh, not much. They were pretty excited this morning.
Very cool. Yeah, we appreciate your time. Thanks, you guys. Have fun.
It's been so neat to see where people have come from. Tacoma, Kitsap. There's
Totally.
a guy, Jock, too, who came all the way from South Korea.
Yeah, he said specifically for this. He
For
said
the
too.
game, and then, of course, they won, so he stuck around to be a part of this victory parade. So didn't want to miss it for the world. Pretty awesome.
Have fun, you guys. Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys for now.
It speaks to the
back
wide
to you for now.
range, as Jake and Mimi mentioned, the Tacoma and up north and out west and in the
Kitsap.
east, the wide range of youth soccer again, because all these young kids, they're playing soccer somewhere, and there's a lot of them playing in this area.
Well, it all comes through Washington Youth Soccer. And the GSSL, which is the Old Men's League, which I played in for 25 years, is thriving, one of the biggest Old Men's League in the world, and ladies. So,
Thanks for mentioning the ladies.
by the way, trivia. Who made the trophies?
I would say Tiffany's, but I don't know.
Tiffany. All right.
Of course, Joyce knows.
Joyce,
Yeah.
well done.
You guys planned that.
No, I saw it last week, and the two lovely ladies that bought the trophy
You're welcome.
on the morning show here, yet they had to wear white silk gloves.
Unbelievable.
And I tried to, don't touch it.
They make the Super Bowl trophy too.
But it's
Yeah.
Tiffany, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Look at the pavilion, by the way, filling up. The crowd is packing the place. Steve and Michelle standing by down there in the midst of all of it. Take it away, guys.
Guys, yeah, it is certainly starting to fill out, and they've stopped playing, for the most part, the music over the loudspeakers, which we take to mean that the team is getting ready to enter through the sort of human-made tunnel.
Hey, can I just introduce you to one of the youngest fans that I've seen?
Sure.
Okay, Lindsay, can I just give a shout out, or can you give a shout out to King 5?
Sure, absolutely.
And look, and
I
who
don't know
do
where
we
it's-
have? Over there, see the guy in the yellow?
Oh, look at
Oh, Tim right
But I
there.
think we found the youngest fan. Tell us who this is.
This is Gwendolyn.
Oh my goodness, and how old is Gwendolyn?
2 months.
Oh my gosh, 2 months old Sounders
She said she
fan.
hasn't even been to a game, but
lively,
you couldn't
too.
miss this.
Exactly.
And literally wrapped in a scarf. So when you say scarves up, this is
I know.
literally
Yes.
scarves up.
Hey, well,
Yeah, well,
congratulations,
you can see the
Mama,
banners
especially
and-
for being out today.
See, we can barely
Sorry,
even hear
no,
each
yeah.
other. It's so loud here. But the banners are going back and forth.
Oh.
And again, we believe the players are pretty close to entering here. And when that happens, the crowd is going to go bonkers, you guys.
Oh, we're so excited.
All right, send it back to you.
You know how
Thanks,
excited
guys.
they are when you see all those flags waving in the stands. But I wonder if they'll let those down a little bit so people can actually see the players speak and hear what they have to say, because there's going to be a lot of excitement there momentarily. And I'm anxious to hear what these guys have to say. Yeah.
Same.
Well,
They're going to be just fired up.
Yeah.
And
Holding
just
that
excited.
trophy.
And like I mentioned,
you know,
we
crowd,
may
I'm
see some
sure.
dancing up there as well.
in some cases, the players would prefer to be on the field playing than speaking on camera.
Yeah.
Because it's not always something they do every day, but they'll
probably don't really like
but
it,
they'll
a lot
be
of them, but-
genuine and sincere and very honest, and I think you're going to see some interesting things happen
They
here.
may have already have their designated people. Who
I don't know. They get coached on the field, but they don't get coached in front of the cameras, of course. You know.
A little soccer history, and Alan was mentioning the Kingdom and playing back in the Kingdom. We've mentioned a lot the 69,274 fans, the record crowd, and why people showed up and why people paid big money for those tickets. Well, this was history. This was only the third time the city of Seattle had hosted a major soccer championship. You got to go back to the Kingdom. I think it was 1976, and Toronto actually won that game back then. And then, of course, 2009 when Real Salt Lake came into town and won the MLS Cup. So this was only the third time that this game had been played in the Seattle area. So it was a big deal.
I think the Major League Soccer has a good system. The team with the most points that gets to the final that has more points. We had more points than Toronto. That's why winning in LAFC and Toronto the next day, winning in Atlanta, which was a total Atlanta were huge favourites. Atlanta went ahead 1-0. They then missed the PK, which would have put them 2-0 up. And I'm thinking, we've got to go to Atlanta. And I was so wanting it to be here. Because I know the upside for the franchise is huge. If we'd have lost it, it'd be status quo. But the excitement and the need now for more people to come and salute and enjoy the game.
Become season ticket
and
holders.
All that. Hey, Chris, by the way, you won a championship last week, didn't you?
Well, I don't want to brag about the U10 Thunder, but yeah, we did it. We had a good.
Congratulations!
We're putting a second star on our jerseys as well.
Whoa,
right.
Why aren't you guys having a parade, Chris? I don't understand.
We're having our own small parade.
I wasn't going to let you get
actually,
away with
Coach
that.
Smetzer came up to me before the game. He said, "What's your secret?" I said, "It's the orange slices at halftime, Coach." And he goes, "Well, how do you cut them?" And so I had Smetzer and Fewing. We were talking about orange slices. I don't know. I can't say right now if the Sounders had orange slices at halftime. Maybe they did, Paul.
Hey, Brian follows everybody on Twitter. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah, you bring up Fewing, too. Pete Fewing, head coach of Seattle U men's soccer, and another tremendous Sounders supporter and a great coach in his own right.
Absolutely.
So,
But it's been a joy to see everybody emerge. I mean, Pete Fewing, every time I see Pete, he says, "You cut me." Because he wanted to play for me at the Sounders in '94, and he was still at CLU. So I took him to the Pancake House by CLU. He said, "I want to play, Coach." I said, "I'm going to do you the biggest favor. I'm not going to sign you. Your future's coaching."
Really?
And of course, he stayed at CLU because he was 33, whatever, and he was a good player, but it was better for him
Just
to go
saying, Al,
coaching.
he didn't have it anymore on the field,
Well,
right?
he won't quite that, but he's a terrific guy.
But
He's
you're
one
right.
of the best.
Yeah, you're right. As far as his future wasn't coaching at that point.
And look at Zakawani. Zakawani, I talked with him after the game on Sunday. I said to him, "How old are you now, Steve?" He said, 31. I said, "You'd still be playing, wouldn't you?" And I felt sorry for him because he would still be playing.
Yeah,
and he was a top player.
Taking a look now at some pictures of this past magical week. And I tell you, that substitution to get our guy in there to score that second goal was huge.
Like
Victor Rodriguez.
Victor Rodriguez, Smetzer pushing all the buttons, and here they come, everybody. Here come the players marching out in front of all the fans.
Let's go. Let's get them out there. Let's hoist that cup again and get the cheers going. Yeah, so again, everything has been slowly building to this point. We've heard all throughout the parade route with the great reporters out there and Chris Daniels sticking that microphone up in the buses and hearing from, Russell Wilson has been a man of few words today. Maybe he's just a little worn out after last night.
And understandably after that incredible win.
Yeah, but I love that they've been chanting MVP along the route too, because he solidified his leadership and the fact that he's the front runner right now for NFL MVP for sure. So that's a topic for another day. He's enjoying his ownership stake in this MLS Cup championship team.
Is it a little surreal to see this happening, knowing how the season started off for the Sounders, that they would culminate with them winning the MLS
Joyce,
Cup?
they actually, they were okay out of the gates. The years past, they had struggled. This year they were okay, and then they went into that end of May, June, where they were just struggling. The defense wasn't good. To the Sounders, to Smetzer's credit, he had a lot of injuries. He had players off on international duty. He stuck with his team. He never took shots at any of the players. He said, "We're going to keep finding a way," and they did. And there was a time in June you're like, "Oh, they're not even going to make the playoffs.
Right.
The draft is going to end."
So to see this happening.
Yeah.
Let's not forget when he took the job in the middle of the season after Ziggy got let go. His job was interim head coach. So if he would have gone losing, he wouldn't have got the job.
Yeah, he had to prove himself.
But he proved himself, and he won the championship.
That year.
And I was at the Seattle Rotary Club with Adrian and Brian, and I asked Adrian especially, what's the future for the coach? He said, he's on a very long leash.
Well, when you win a championship and you don't have one shot on goal during the match, that's a pretty good sign you're a good coach.
Leash now.
Yes, he is.
Got to be careful though.
What makes him so phenomenal?
Well, the U.S. national team might come running for him now.
No.
Now the women's team already came.
That's a revolving door there, isn't it, Alan? Every couple of years they seem to be looking for the right coach.
They got to find somebody to lead them to win.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. As we wait for the players to come out here, I will bring this up. There was a time, I believe, when Smetzer, as an assistant with Ziggy Schmid, had a sniff from Montreal to be their head coach.
Yes, he did.
And boy, what are they thinking now? They could have had Smetzer years ago.
I think he was interviewed too.
Yes.
Really?
And he didn't fancy it.
Nope.
He's a Seattle boy.
No, and you're right.
Yeah,
And
we're lucky.
Right, and more than it was Montreal's decision, it was Brian's decision that this didn't feel right, and he had a good spot learning under Ziggy Schmidt. And he gives you a lot of credit for the way he's developed as a coach.
What he says to me is man management. Because for me, you can be the best coach in the world, but if they won't play for you, you got a problem.
Yeah.
And I had a funny way of winding up people in front of everybody, just in a nice way. I remember one time, Dick McCormick was playing for the Tacoma Stars, and he had paint on his shoes. And I said, "What are you doing with paint on your shoes?" He said, "I've been doing some painting for Brian Smetzer." So I said to Brian Smetzer, "You can't let him play with paint on his shoes. What are you doing?"
You who used to play with white shoes?
Yeah, I did.
You're talking about somebody's shoes?
We called them boots back in the day, Joyce. That's what they called them, right?
I'm just like, what?
Hey, I got £1,000 for wearing those white boots.
And you played well.
I did.
Yeah.
But, people say, that's not enough. I go, you can buy a house for £2,000.
And Joyce, you asked earlier, Joyce, are Paul and I, who have been doing sports here for a long time, surprised with how soccer's taken off. As a kid growing up in Puyallup, I'm not surprised at all, because I used to go to the Tacoma Dome and watch the Tacoma Stars sellouts. I mean, they would pack the Tacoma Dome for the Tacoma Stars. That is a team that came awfully close to winning a championship, but just couldn't get by. That Dallas team, which was awfully good back in the day. But in the 80s, I mean, it just every decade there's been a different part of this area where soccer has taken off. And the Tacoma Stars, giving them credit, the indoor soccer back then was absolutely fabulous. And Alan, you were part of that as well.
The Tacoma Stars were fabulous. And you know what made me the most happy? Seeing droves and thousands of Seattle fans going to the Tacoma Dome. And we did win, and we played entertaining soccer. Preki was the star players, Jungle, Megson, Gary Hill, Jeff Stark. So as much as we're producing more and more talent locally, we always did. Mm-hmm. This has always been a soccer community. So we've all done our part.
We have a little bit of a lull. So I want to circle back to a question about Lagerwey, because you guys are like poo-pooing my idea, this theory that I have. He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
They have a new soccer team. He has an incredible record. And he's put together this great team in Seattle that has put together this great team that's now won another MLS Cup. And my theory is, isn't there a risk that we would lose him to Chicago, his hometown? And they're like, no, he's a home guy. He loves it here. We're not going to. But if we did, that could change everything in Seattle for the Sounders.
Absolutely.
I want to know your theory about that.
You can't stand still. I'll bet you most of the staff and the players have agents. I'll bet you the agents are on the phone now to Adrian and everybody else. But if you've got something to sell, like Lagerwey does,
Right.
and Smetzer does, and a lot of the players have, you've got to take care of them. Because it's a short career.
And that would keep him here?
Well, what keeps him here is the club and the city. This is a fabulous.
And money talks out.
He has 3 years left on his contract.
Yeah, he does. But at the same time,
I'm just saying. I'm
being
throwing
happy
it out
with
there now. We need to see what happens with
your family
Lagerwey.
is a big deal too.
That's true. It makes you a better person all the way around. Let's head out to Jake and Mimi. Jake, Mimi?
Yeah, it's kind of quiet here right now because we're all waiting for the players to show up, and hopefully they'll be here any minute now. But I'm with these two fans who are quiet. You guys were quietly chanting just a moment ago. I need you guys to be loud. What's it like to be here this afternoon?
Awesome. We were here in 2016 when we won last time. It's amazing to have it here in our hometown.
Were you at the championship game?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yes,
Definitely.
of course. Okay, so what is it like compared to last time in 2016?
Watching it in the living room versus watching it in the stadium.
Well, okay, there's no comparison. But in terms of being here at the Victory Parade.
At the parade?
Yeah.
He went to more of it than I did. I just got to hit the parade last time, which was super fun. It was much smaller and more intimate, but it's amazing to see this many people excited this year and willing to come downtown for it.
For people who are watching at home, they didn't get a chance to come out for whatever reason, how would you describe the feeling of today?
A lot of pride. I mean, Seattle is really excited about having our Sounders team win the championships, and of course, coming off an awesome win yesterday from the Seahawks, having some of sort of Seattle's, I don't know.
We're all kind of on a high right now, right? Yeah.
Surreal.
All right, thanks you guys. Have fun today, and we've got some little fans over here. Hi guys.
How's it going, buddy? How are you? Did you get to watch the parade?
I lost my scarf.
You lost your scarf here. There you go, man. There you go.
Smile.
You can have mine. Go Sounders.
No, of course she's like, wait, where's mine?
Exactly. There you go, sweetheart. Scarves up.
Scarves up.
All right.
Scarves up.
Pound it out.
Where's my smile?
Boom.
There it is. I think we made their day.
I think we did.
You guys getting stars now.
I tell you what,
That's
they just got an instant promo for the morning show right there. You kids are losing
that's
scarves,
sweet.
and how about that? Jake can maybe to the rescue, handing out scarves to the kids. Doesn't get any better than that.
Well, we're still waiting for the players to come in and hoist the cup and celebrate with the fans this MLS Cup championship. And we talk about the success of this franchise. And real quickly, just to fans that may not know just how valuable the Sounders are, they are the fourth most valuable franchise in Major League Soccer at $405 million. And they're the leaders in that group are Atlanta, which was just into the league just a few years ago. Atlanta tops the list, and then the Galaxy and LAFC followed by the fourth place Sounders, again at $405 million. Atlanta's at $500 million, so it's kind of like everybody's right up there at the top, and we see just how valuable these franchises are all growing, because now it's costing millions and millions of dollars for expansion teams.
And you win, Paul, as we just saw there, your value goes up. 2 titles in 4 years, 3 trips to the MLS Cup.
I think this is getting underway, this rally.
Let's listen in. That is Matt Stretch Johnson handing the mic over to Russell Wilson. Matt is the voice of the Sounders. Let's listen in to Russell.
Yeah! What's happening? It's so good. So what's pretty sweet, Sierra and I are fired up to be here just to announce the MLS 2019 champs, the Seattle Sounders! It's been a special time in Seattle. Obviously, the Sounders getting a huge win this weekend in front of 70,000 people in Century Link. I couldn't be there, unfortunately. We were flying to San Francisco, and I'm literally asking the pilot, what's the score, what's the score? And earlier in the week, I actually predicted the score was going to be 3-1. And sure enough, it was 3-1. So we've been fired up to just be a part of this organization and to be part owners with such amazing people in a special, special city with some special players and a special organization and amazing, amazing fans. The Seahawks fans and Sounder fans are the best in the world. So we just want to say thank you guys. I know Sierra wants to say something, and I'll kind of close it there at the end.
I think Russ has kind of said it all, but we're just so proud of the guys. They fought so hard. They believed. They had faith. And I'm sure, like you guys, it inspired us. I'm sure it inspired you guys like it inspired us. And we really believe in them. And we're just so proud to be a part of the family. It's honestly still surreal because literally, it's only been under a year for us being a part of the family. And then it's just been amazing to be a part of such an incredible journey. So we are really proud of our guys. And let's go Sounders. Let's go Sounders. Let's go Sounders. Ole, 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 ole. Oh. Woo, woo. Ole, 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 ole. Come on. Louder. Woo, woo. Ole, 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 ole. Yeah.
So we just want to say thank you all. We really appreciate it. And now we're going to bring out the Seattle Sounders and the rest of the team and some other people.
I have a favor. I'm asking a favor. I need you to go get a piece of hardware and put it out here. Bring it out. There you go, Sierra. Grab that. That's our cup! That's our cup!
They got some good ones.
Put it right there at its new home. love you, Russ. We love you, Sierra.
So the Sounders won a championship. How about the Seahawks win one too? Yeah! We're out. Go Hawks, go Sounders.
Thank you. Time to bring on Soundwave and then the team, and we'll keep this rolling.
I'll just follow you. Apparently I'm taking your mic.
Good. The tuba's having trouble getting up there. Put your hands together for Soundwave.
looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit again. First shot, good straight walk. Somewhere between my bodies, rising for the game. No, y'all can't be bad. Moonwalk, and this here is our boss.
Beautifully done. This is the moment, tonight is the night. Here comes Rudy Diaz through the middle to crown it for Seattle. And now they truly can start the celebrations. It's the Sounders MLS Cup. That is the sound of success. Of the Seattle Sounders' success.
Go, Phil, for a second.
All right, I gotta do this. Seattle! No more! Seattle! Two-time Cup winner, Seattle! How we doing? Good? Dal Constantine, has he arrived? He has arrived. It's time to move on. The Honorable Dal Constantine, King County Executive. Sorry to take your, you love doing that. I had to do it first.
Thanks, man. Sounders fans, are you having a great day? No, you're not. You know who is having a great day? The guy who just stepped on a bus on 4th Avenue and got a hug from Ciara. That's a guy who's having a great day. Welcome to the Seattle Center. Welcome to another championship for your Seattle Sounders. I'm a ticket holder since 2009. I know that of which I speak. There's nothing sweeter than bringing home the championship. The best fans in the MLS, the best team in the MLS. We are the soccer city of North America. Now, when you look back on this day, when you tell your kids what happened here, you're going to think about all the strife at the start of the season. You're going to think about the slow start. You're going to think about how you thought, maybe this isn't our year. But you stuck with our Sounders. You were there through thick and thin. You helped make it happen. 70,000 rabid fans in our house to bring home our cup to where it belongs. Seattle, King County, Washington. Congratulations, Sounders! Scars up!
Wow! You join me? The Honorable Jenny Durkan, Mayor of Seattle.
All right, Seattle! Now I want to hear on this side Seattle and this side Sounders. We showed them 70,000 people. 3-1. The best fans in North America. I said the best fans in North America. The best soccer city in North America. Can we say World Cup? Now you're going to see Adrian Hanauer, who brought and had the dream that soccer could stay alive here. And he has a pretty good ownership group too. How about Russell? How many people are still tired from Monday Night Football? So let's do one last time. This is Sounders, Seattle. All right.
Can I have the microphone? Time to introduce the owner. The man that put this all together, Seattleite Adrian Hanauer.
I missed that, Matt. Did you just say the Honorable Adrian? No. Okay. Hey, first and foremost, does somebody have a scarf that I can borrow for 3 minutes? Here we go. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I've restocked my house. Thank you. So, again, thank you so much, Honorary Dow Constantine, Mayor Durkan, Jenny Durkan. We know who we've got next to run our pep rally. You guys rocked it. So, did anybody have fun on Sunday? Yeah, me too. That was absolutely great, bonkers, crazy, and honestly, you, our fans, led us to that victory. You were so great. Thank you so much for everything you've done all year. So who was at that game on the third level here? Who was in the suite? Now I see you up there in your VIP area. You were the ones in the suites. Occidental viewing party, nice. Main level, bottom level, yes. I guarantee the team heard you all. You absolutely rocked it. And hey, Mayor, Council Member, or King County Executive Constantine, how about the World Cup in 2026? What do you think? I think this city can rock that as well. So, hey, I want to, on behalf of our entire ownership, obviously Russ Sierra, Mac Lamore and his amazing performance in Pioneer Square before the game. All of our new owners, the owners that have come before us, my original partners, Joe Roth, Paul Allen, Drew Carey. We are so appreciative from the staff, the coaches, the players, everyone who is part of this Sounders family. You all contribute and make this happen. And you know what? Tomorrow we go to work trying to win a third star, all right? I'm gonna let a couple of the architects of this team come and say a few words. So please welcome another local boy done good, Chris Henderson.
Hey, I just want to hear the loudest I've ever heard our game, the goal we scored, Kelvin Leardom. I just want to hear how loud we can have it right now, just like the goal. An amazing accomplishment for our team. I became a fan of the team when I was 4 years old, and the connection our players and our fans have is better than any in North America. This cup is for you guys, the family here in Seattle. You're all part of us. One more time.
Let's bring out the GM and President of Soccer, Garth Lagerway. Garth.
How you guys doing? How many kids here are skipping school? All right. How many of you guys are skipping work? Now that's the point of winning titles, isn't it? So you can have a couple beers in the middle of the day and skip school and skip work, right? Thank you all for coming out here. I got to tell you, we won this thing in 2016. We've had a lot of big moments here at the Sounders. But the pre-game show that y'all put on in Occidental Square, for those of you, how many were here at the March of the Match? We thought like 4,000 people were going to show up. It was north of 10. There were city blocks that were stopped. That was a once-in-a-lifetime event. And that was before we got to the stadium. So thank you all for that. And the stadium-wide TIFO, as this gentleman here points out, amazing. Every one of you participated in. Thank you so much. The coolest thing about this is that we all did it together. We did this for Seattle. Y'all were here. You supported us. We obviously did have some bumps in the middle of the season, but we came good in the end. We always believed. We said from day one, this is the best Sounders team in history. And at the end of the day, we got it done. So the next folks coming up here are going to be a lot more interesting than us. Don't worry. The players are coming. Kids, the players are coming. Don't worry. So I hope you guys give a special round of applause to Steph Fry, to Nico Ladero. And we apologize. A couple guys are missing because, unfortunately, the team's really good, as it turns out. So 11 of them had to go abroad to go play home for their countries, and they're not able to be here today. But just know they're here in spirit. This thing's going out all over the world. We're going to keep them in the loop. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate the support all season long. Should we do it again? All right. All right, we're not a dynasty yet, but we're going to go and try to win Champions League. For those of you who don't know what Champions League is, we're going to do our best to show you. We play all the best teams from Central and North America. If you win that, you go to the Club World Cup, you play the best teams in the world. So no American teams ever won it. We're one of the most ambitious clubs in America. We're going to win this thing. We're going to go win Champions League. I'm telling you, winning that title, when the second goal is scored, when the roof really comes off the building, and did y'all think we're going to win then? That's the coolest moment in my sporting history so far. Thank you all. Thank you for the support of the Sounders. Hang in there. We got some more people coming to talk to you. Really appreciate all you guys.
Thanks, Garth. Now this year and maybe last year, it wasn't always so rosy. Sorry to bring it down a bit, but there's somebody that didn't win the last couple years. It's our friend that took a life of its own called the Gold Elevator. And as a matter of fact, he wasn't even allowed in the stadium on Sunday. So we had a chat, we got together, and we got one more day. Can the Gold Elevator win away from CenturyLink Field? Take a look. The Sounders win an MLS Cup and the Gold Elevator win in the same week. Life is good. Life is good. So let's see those stars. You got the stars. If you don't have a star, put up your scarf. Let's see it all. Get the stars up. Get the scarves up. Looks good. And the most important, the hat, fine, Sounder hat. Put anything up you want. Because the time is now that you've been waiting for. Give it to me one more time. That's right. Bring the players. Seattle! Seattle! Boom!
Please welcome. welcome your 2019 MLS Cup champions, Seattle Sounders Football Club. Led by head coach Brian. Goalkeeper, number 1, Trey. Defender, number 3, Jonathan. Defender number 12, Saad. Midfielder number 15, Emmanuel. Goalkeeper, number 15, Beam. Midfielder, number 16, Alex. Forward, number 17, Will. Midfielder, number 19, Harry. Forward, number 23, Luis. Goalkeeper, number 35, Brian. Midfielder, number 70, Handwala. Midfielder, number 75, Danny. Forward, number 87, Alfonso. Forward, number 99, Justin. Defender, number 18, Kelvin. Defender, number 20, Kim. Goalkeeper, number 24, Stefan. And your captain, number 10, Nicholas.
Probably announce the assistant coaches. So you got Gonzalo Pineda's next, I can tell you. Coach Gonzalo Pineda.
Assistant coach, Gonzalo Pineda.
Let's do it this way, easier. Assistant coach, Jimmy Traore.
Assistant coach, Jimmy Traore.
Head of club goalkeeping, Tom Dutra.
Head of club goalkeeping, Tom Dutra.
Assistant coach, Ducky.
Assistant coach, Brecky. And with the 2019 MLS Cup, Grant Clark and Gene Ramirez. And that's your 2019 MLS Cup champions, Seattle Sounders Football Club.
Thank you.
All this hardware. Hi, Steph. As Garth mentioned, the great part about being a big club is you have guys that play for their countries. They have left, but they gave us a great video reminder, and they want to thank all the fans. On a cue the video, there's a number of guys that want to thank you.
Guys, we just finished the game. I just want to say how proud I am of you guys for coming out, and we're so happy to do this in this beautiful city. You fans are amazing. You have been all year, and I'm sorry I can't be there. I'm off with the national team, and I just want to say how much this club, we appreciate you guys, and you've been amazing all year, and we're just so happy we could do this for you. Thank you.
What's up, guys? It's Jordan Morris here. Can't thank you guys enough for your support this year. Wish I could be there celebrating with you guys, but hope you're having a great day, and just so proud to be a part of this team. And just again, thank you so much for all your support.
Hey fans, this is Jody. Thank you very much for the support this year. We got this home. Now it's time to celebrate. So let's party and see you soon.
Let's go! Vamos, campeones! Yeah, baby! Let's go! Someday! Champion! We are the champions! We are the champions!
Champion! Vamos! See you soon. Nous sommes champions. Vamos Sanders! Obrigado.
Vamos Sanders! Woo! Champion! Woo! Where's Nico? Nico, no, come out here. Come on. Nico Ladero.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my teammates, my staff, my family, my friend. I want to say only thank you, but I'm very happy because the trophy is here in front of you fans, because we play for you, we play for your city. So I want to say enjoy, because Seattle deserves the trophy. Now we have two. Next year we want three. Hey, three. But enjoy the moment. Teammates, thank you very much, because I'm praying for you too. Staff, thank you. Thank you. I love Seattle. Enjoy, because now we have two. Thank you very much. Thank you. We want to show something. ¿Estás pronto? ¿Otra? Pronto. Bailamos. Pronto. ¿Listo? Ya. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't want to. Why ruin that? I just start talking. Stephen Fry, come out front.
I swear I'm not getting any kickbacks from any tattoo artists, but I better be seeing some stars soon, okay? I said it in 16 and I'll say it again. Success thrives in a positive environment. And this is it. This is the environment. We have an amazing team, we have amazing staff, and we try to do everything we can, but you guys lift us to that next level. And for us, 16 was amazing, don't get me wrong, I love that memory, we'll never forget it. But to be able to share this with you on Sunday, it was amazing. You guys fucking deserve it, sorry. And I'm gonna have to say something to finish, because he's not here right now, a good friend of mine, who is, I think, probably drunk because he partied too hard, Chad Marshall. Let's fucking win another one!
Stephen Fry, Will Bruin! Will Bruin, where is he? Yes, come on! Don't do that. Will Bruin!
I don't know why you're calling me up here. It's for you guys. You guys deserve this more than anybody. The guys over here did it all. Like Steph said, let's get a third.
All right. Louder, louder! We got all day. All right, this is a special request. Come on. Justin Dillon, the nicest guy in Seattle, wants to sing you a song.
I'm gonna need some help tonight, all right? Let's see if you know the words. All right, let's go. The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle. The hills, the greenest greens. In Seattle! Let's go.
That was way better than I thought it would be. Way better. All right. My favorite, no offense to everybody, but my favorite, Brian Schmetzer.
Give me a hug. That's always a little awkward. I love you for it, but... Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thanks to all of my family over here, all my family up there, everybody here in the city of Seattle. Thank you for this. Thank you for Sunday. Thank you for a lot of years, 40 some odd plus years for some of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What I want to do is bring Beam up here for a quick second. Come on, Beam. Come on. Now, you guys, some of you guys that follow me would have seen Christian holding Beam up in the air after we had won that game. Did everybody see that photo? He's part of the team. He's a fan. And the connection between the team and the fans is what this club is all about. So, Beam, thank you. Are you brave enough to say a few words? Can you think of something?
Go Sounders.
Okay. Super Beam. Super Beam. Okay, last things before you guys go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you to my staff, a wonderful staff, the background staff, all the players, everybody here in this organization that has made this possible, and thank all of you. Thank you.
Why don't you lift the 2019, that one there. We've got them laying all over the place. Why don't you grab that one, walk it out, and lift that cup for everybody, Coach. Come on, guys.
And everything that goes with it, I thank you all. But it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose. We are the champions, my friends. Another step, another day, another breath, been chasing dreams, but I never slept.
Very cool to see the two cups there, and I'll tell you what, We Are the Champions is one of the greatest anthems of all time. When you see it with your hometown team, it gave me chills just now, and it never gets old. Alan, some final thoughts on the parade and the championship?
Well, it gave me chills too, and I've won 2 championships in England. This was more fun for me. So we are the champions. Long live Seattle. Long live the fans. Loves King. I'm going to call you King Brian Smetser. It's been great working with you guys. The enthusiasm in here was as good as out there in the Seattle Center. So thank you for having me. It's almost so much fun.
Chris? I was in New Jersey with you two when confetti came down as the Seahawks won their first championship. I was in Toronto with you when confetti came down. The Sounders won their first. Storm have won a lot. I tell you what, nothing brings a city together more than the sports teams and sports teams that win. Absolutely awesome day. Way to go, Sounders.
Joyce,
biggest fan on the set.
To win at home, to have this parade at home, and to see local ownership in this town come together. It's a sweet day.
Yeah, man, it was just a tremendous day watching the parade and seeing everybody get all excited out there. See the captain out there, Nico Ladero, leading the fans. But seeing those 2 cups there, that was huge. So it's been a lot of fun for us today. Yeah. We'll have more news, of course, at 4, 5, 6:30 tonight on King 5. Here's some memories of this great parade today and a tremendous second MLS Cup championship for the Sounders. We'll join Dr. Phil in progress after this.
Hoy, hoy.